Hi guys, welcome to week 5. This is going to be your week on how to learn how to onboard new coaches and get your coaches started right, okay? For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Stephanie Baumgartner. I am a 2-star diamond coach and I'm the leader of Team Dream Fit. So tonight I'm going to share with you, you've signed coaches or you have coaches that want to join your team, and now you're probably, wondering, okay, what do I do? So I'm going to be sharing with you tonight what it is that you can do to get your coaches started out on the right foot, give them all the tools and resources they need to succeed. Because let's face it, okay? We're learning, and we've learned from the 10X rule, if you've gotten there yet, that we cannot motivate people. You've probably caught this with your challengers, but unfortunately, we can't motivate people to reach certain goals. We just can't. We can't do the work for our challengers to lose the weight or to get toned, and we can't do the work for our coaches in order for them to succeed or to advance in rank. So all we can do is we can inspire them, we can encourage them, and we can guide them with all of the tools and resources they need to be better coaches. So tonight I'm going to share with you 7 steps for you to onboard your coaches, give them the tools and resources they need to be good coaches, to start out that first month on the right foot and to get them working the business. This is all about duplication. So you want to be able to give them what you have so that they can be basically you, okay? So let's get started. I'm gonna share my presentation here. And yeah, there we'll go. Okay. So let's go back. Sorry about that. Okay, 7 steps to new coach onboarding. First and foremost, I'm going to go through these steps and then I'm going to go into detail with them. First and foremost, you want to have a conversation with your coach prospect before they enroll. Okay, and the reason for that is that you want to know if they're interested in working the business. If they're going to be a discount coach, then you're not going to necessarily go through all of these steps in order to get them started right. You're just going to give them the information they need in regards to discount coaching. You're going to give them the how much money they're going to spend on their Shakeology, the business service fee, etc. And I will go into all of that. But when you know what kind of coach this person wants to sign up as, whether they want to be a discount coach, a hobby coach, an all-in coach, that will help you strategize exactly where to place them in your organization. So before they sign up, you want to have this conversation with them. Immediately after they enroll, number 2 step is you want to send them the appropriate welcome email. For me, I have a template email that goes to my discount coaches, and I have a template email that goes to my business builders. This basically just says that I am setting them up with all the tools they need to succeed in either one. So if they're a discount coach, I consider them a preferred customer. This is somebody that really loves their Shakeology. They really love the Beachbody products, and they're going to most likely be around a lot longer than, say, a regular customer. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of them. A lot of times people will, say, oh man, a discount coach signed up, and then they kind of poo-poo them signing up. And instead of really giving them the tools and still focusing on them as a dedicated customer, they kind of let them go by the wayside. So just because someone says they don't want to work the business doesn't mean you give up on them. The number 3 step is to include a new coach questionnaire for them to fill out when they sign up. So for me, I include this in both the discount coach email and the business builder email, and I'll share a little bit more about that as well. Number 4 step is then you want to add them to your team page or your upline team page or whatever support system you have going on for them. And you want to make sure that you announce them as a coach. If you decide that you want to announce them on your personal page or your business-like page, that's completely up to you. But make sure you announce them in your team page, because such a big part of this journey is that they get started and that they learn and get to know the people on your team so that they build the support they need, that they can not only go to you when they have questions, but they can go to the other people on your team, okay? So number 5, You want to make sure that you arrange a getting started right call with them. And ideally, you would do this within the first 48 hours of them signing up. And the reason for that is because when most people sign up as a coach, they are really excited. Something in them has gotten them to the point where they are ready. They signed up. And you don't want to lose that excitement in them by putting off the getting started right call for a week or even longer. So you want to make sure that you do that within the first 48 hours of them signing up. I'm going to go into more detail about that as well. Number 6 is then you want to make sure that you enroll them in the next new coach training that either you are running or your upline sponsor is running. And the reason for that is, again, you just want to make sure that they have steps in place for them to succeed, that they know that they're working towards something. Okay? And the very last thing, the number 7 step, is stay in communication with them to ensure that they have the proper guidance they need to succeed. So you never want to lose communication with them, especially the first month of them being a coach, because we all know if a coach goes ghost on you, stops responding, same as a challenger, then you know something's up and they're most likely not working the business on their own. So you want to stay in constant communication with them because let's face it, we've all been there. Signing up as a coach at first is very overwhelming and we don't want them to get overwhelmed. We want to be able to teach them at the pace in which they're ready to learn. Okay, so this is all just a guide for you. If you have a coach that signs up that maybe gets a little overwhelmed, you want to slow it down for them. Maybe you have a coach that signs up that's a rock star, that's ready to get to diamond in a month, then you're going to speed it up for them. This is just a guide for you to get someone started out right. So the welcome email that I send for my discount coaches, and this is just it's just a template for you if you want to create your own email. I will share my emails as the week goes on, but the things that I include in my emails are make sure you welcome them to an amazing community of constant support. These are discount coaches, but these are preferred customers. These are people that adore and love their Shakeology. They love the challenge groups. They are a fan of the Beachbody programs and that they want to continue. Like I said in the very beginning, don't lose sight of that and don't let those people go, okay? Make sure that you encourage them to stay in the challenge groups, encourage them to get involved with you, constant communication. Reiterate to them in this email that they will be charged the monthly business service fee, okay? So for a lot of them, they don't understand that. And for them, if they're not going to work the business, they don't necessarily care about staying on their Shakeology every month. If they have a surplus of Shakeology, then they're going to, put it on hold. You just want to make sure that they know that regardless of whether they put their Shakeology on hold or not, they'll still be charged that business service fee. So you want to just reiterate that to them. And then you want to just make sure you ensure that they know that they get 25% off of all Beachbody products, not just their Shakeology, but if they choose to try one of the Beachbody Performance line supplements, if they want to try another program, so that they know that anything they purchase, that they'll get 25% off. You want to also share with them that they have the option to work the business, okay? Yeah, okay, so maybe they're discount coaches and they're not interested in that right now, but maybe they continue with the challenge groups and they really start to love and adore the community. And so that now they want to dabble. And so a lot of them will say, okay, well, how do I sign up to work the business? And you want to just encourage them or ensure that they know that as a discount coach that they can work the business at any time. Maybe they have a relative or somebody come to them and say that they want to purchase. They need to know that they can refer them to themselves and to give out links for them, and you can help them with that later on. Make sure that they know your contact information. You are still their coach. You are there to help them on their journey so that they know how to get in touch with you. I also encourage my discount coaches to fill out the new Coach Questionnaire because, again, I keep a tally and I do it via Google Forms, which I'll share with you. And then I create a spreadsheet of all my coaches so that I can document who's a coach and where they are and what they want out of this business. So even if they say, well, I just want a discount, I don't want to work it, I just want to make sure I have documentation of that. And then I would ask them if they want to be included in the team page. The team page, yes, is where I share, a lot of stuff about working the business, but it's also where I share about upcoming challenge groups. So I do offer that to my coaches, discount coaches, and then they can decide if they don't want to go that route and be included. My welcome email for business builders is somewhat similar to the one that goes to discount coaches, but it's a little bit more in depth about working the business, obviously. So I also share with them about the amazing community of constant support. I also share with them about the business service fees. I also share with them about the 25% all products. And now this is where it changes up a bit. I include the video that you can find in your Coach Online office on how to log into their Coach Online office and how to set up their profile and their websites. Because as we all know, you need to do that first and foremost if you want to make Success Club and earn leads. So you have to have your profile set up, and obviously you need to know your websites so that you can pass them out to your potential customers. So I include that in the email. And then I also ask them to fill out the new Coach Questionnaire, and I will show you what that looks like. But it basically asks them how many hours they're interested in working per day and so forth. I also share in this email the Business Quick Start Guide that you can find in your Coach Online office in the new coach training. And I ask them to fill this out. I ask them to go through it, and it just gives them a little bit of background. It shares the 4 vital behaviors and all of that, okay? And I ask them to do this before we have our Getting Started Right call, just so they can get an idea of what what we're gonna talk about. I ask them their availability to set up the Getting Started Right call, and then I also get their permission to add them to our team page, and I also get their permission to make any announcements about them or tag them in any posts. I myself never want to tag a person if, for whatever reason, they're not ready to share that they are a coach. So I always ask them first before I do that. So the new Coach Questionnaire that I include in my welcome email for my business builders and discount coaches is actually a Google form that I created. And I have this example here for you to see. I can share that with you this week as well. But some questions I asked for them, again, because I keep a document, a spreadsheet of all my coaches, and I ask their name, their address. Obviously, if I need to share with them any prizes or incentives, or if they rank advance, I give out gifts for that. Email address, cell number, I ask them if I can text them, just to make sure. I ask them to tell me a little bit about themselves, because it's very important for you and me to get to know our coaches, because you're building a relationship with them, just like your challengers, and you want to make sure that, you guys, you connect and you vibe, because the more you do, the more fun you have, the stronger your organization and the better your culture is for your team. So I also ask them to share with me about their history with health and fitness and kind of what drives them. I ask what excites them in this business. And then I ask them to share with me what statements best describe their intentions as a coach. And as you'll see throughout my Getting Started Right process or my new coach onboarding, I am kind of reiterating to them, or asking them really, to commit to their intentions more than once, because a lot of coaches will say they want to work the business and then they kind of trail off. So for me, I kind of want to know a coach's intentions first so that I know how much to help them. Again, I cannot motivate them to run this business, but I can encourage them and inspire them and guide them. If they're going to say one thing and do another, then I have to follow their actions. So I ask them to share my intentions with me. I ask how many hours they're able to commit to a day. And then I ask them if they have any questions. Okay, and then again, I just ask them to reiterate when they're available to have the Getting Started Right call. So this is the new Coach Questionnaire that goes out, again, to both discount coaches and working coaches. Now is the time that I announce them. Okay, this is the same time that I'm sending this email out to them. Of course, I've gotten their permission to announce them and to post on either my social media or in my team page. And I have a new coach template created. It is a new coach announcement, okay? And so it looks exactly like this. And I shared this with you just to give you an idea. And so the template is basically this entire background without the picture on it, so that when a new coach signs up, I just go into Canva, because that's where I created this, and I put the picture of the new coach on there, and voila, there you go. It's super easy and a lot less work every time someone signs up, because I've already done the work. So let's get into really the nitty-gritty of getting your coach started right. And that is that first phone conversation you have with them after they signed up as a coach. And we call it the getting started right call. This is so crucial for them because you just want to make sure that they have all the tools and the resources they need to succeed. Again, we can't do the work for them, but they need to have everything, or at least know where to go to get the answers they need in order to be independent and build their business. So the very first thing I do when I get on the phone with them is I validate their decision to be a coach, and I congratulate them. And I say, I'm so excited that you have decided to join me and join my team as a coach. You know, your life is going to change drastically. I know you can't even really expect what's going to happen. And then I go into sharing my story and what coaching has done for me. So I go into sharing, you know, how much it's changed my relationships and how much it's changed because I've been able to leave my job. I also share, you know, what it's done for me, you know, inside that I can't put in a Transformation Tuesday post. And so I only keep this to about approximately 5 minutes. And then the second thing in the Getting Started Right call is I give them realistic expectations about this business. This is really so very key because a lot of people will think, you know, maybe they're following Melanie Mitro or they're following these top coaches and they think that as soon as they sign up to be a coach, it's going to be smooth sailing. And maybe it is at first when they're in their warm market. But at some point, as we all know, you're going to reach bumps. And it gets to be a little bit difficult. And so we want to make sure that they have realistic expectations about the business. And the very first thing I tell them is you create your own success. I can guide you, but I cannot do it for you. The second thing I share with them is that my goal, just so we are, you know, on the same page here, my goal is to give you the tools and resources you need to be independent and succeed on your own. Again, I'm just reiterating, I cannot do the work for them, but I'm here to guide them and support them. And then I share with them that there will be ups and downs in this business and that they need to expect them and that they always need to remember why it is that they signed up as a coach to drive them through and to encourage them to do their personal development. And then this is very important in my opinion. And guys, I'm not making this stuff up, okay? I actually did not create this. This is straight out of the GoPro book by Eric Worre, and I have used it and it works, okay? But I say to them, now I know that, you know, I'm going to notice that you're going through downs when you aren't communicating with me as much, or maybe you're not showing up to the team calls, or you're starting to make a lot of excuses. Now I need to know, would you rather me leave you alone in that moment, or would you rather that I be persistent with you and share with you, you know, remind you why it is you signed up as a coach and your goals? This is so important because a lot of people, when the going gets tough and they realize, man, this business takes a lot more work than I anticipated, a lot of them will start to pull back. And it's really important for you to know your boundaries, or their boundaries rather, so that you can be persistent with them and say, hey, remember we had that conversation in our Getting Started Right call. You told me I could be persistent with you, and I've noticed that you've not been on the team calls, and I want to know, are you okay? And what can I do to help you get back on track? Okay? Really important. The number 3 thing is go over a Getting Started Right checklist with them, okay? And you want to just make sure, first and foremost, that they have their Beachbody program and that they have their Shakeology or their Beachbody performance line. And because, hello, one of the 4 vital behaviors is be proof that the products work. So you want to make sure that they're using the products so that we know that they're going to have a journey with the products, because as we all know, the more you love and appreciate the products, the easier this business is, okay? Obviously, we are here to help people have great results because maybe we've had great results of our own, or we've just fallen in love with this entire community. So it's important for them to have the products so that they succeed and can share that with other people. The number 2 thing is you want to encourage them to begin sharing their journey, okay? And a lot of this is going to be hit or miss for some people. Some people are going to be ready to share right away. Maybe they've been a challenger and they've already been sharing. Maybe they have never posted on their social media in 5 years, and so now they have to start posting. And so you want to be able to guide them and give them some resources for them to begin posting, you know, without overwhelming their friends and their network. The number 3 thing is you want to provide them the tools they need to start out. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of these with you this week, but for instance, maybe you have created a YouTube playlist. Maybe they're videos of your own. Maybe you have created a YouTube playlist of other coaches' videos that you found really helpful. If you have not, I would encourage you to start doing that. I would actually encourage you to start making your own videos because you want your team to connect with you. But having other coaches' videos and putting them on a playlist is completely fine. It just gives your coaches somewhere to go and have the resources that they're all getting the same information. You want to give them the date of the next new coach training, right? You want to make sure that they're connected on Beachbody social media pages, Beachbody Champions 411. And you'll want to share with them samples of social media posts. A lot of people don't post on social media, and so you can't take for granted that this is actually very hard for people. So you want to give them ideas of what to post. And that's not all just about Beachbody. You want them to share their life, and you want to share, to decide, like Gabriel shared a couple weeks ago, their brand and their market so that they are posting specifically to those people. And then you want to make sure that they know how to navigate new coach training in the COO because there's a lot of amazing things. Encourage them to read the coach policies and procedures, which is very, very important. And to show them how to access coach FAQs because you want them to go there first. You're always going to be a resource for them, but you want them to be able to search it out on their own. Again, we're here to develop independent coaches that are developing their business on their own. And then the last thing is you want to explain the basics of the coach compensation plan. A lot of people, when they start, they don't understand how it is we earn. So you want to make sure that you tell them the bonus structure. You want to make sure that you tell them about retail. You want to make sure that you tell them if they help 3 to 5 people in 1 month with a challenge pack that they have the opportunity to make their initial investment back and so forth. And the very last thing of the Getting Started Right call is you want to set realistic goals for their first month as a coach. And again, if they filled out the business quick start guide, okay, then you're ahead of the game. But if they have not, you're going to ask them to fill out the business quick start guide that gives them, again, the 4 vital behaviors. It gives them a game plan, really, of how to get started as a coach. I encourage my new coaches to make a list of 50 to 100 names of people to help. They can use the memory jogger that's in the Coach Online office, but they're going to sit down and really focus and to decide, okay, who is it that I can reach out to? My family, my friends, the people I go to church with, that kind of stuff. Again, the memory jogger is excellent to help with that. I encourage my new coaches to run a challenge group with me their first month. Yes, it's a little nerve-wracking for them. Yes, it's a bit, okay, they're nervous, but it's so important for them to hit the ground running because, again, you want them to be independent. So you're going to do a little bit of hand-holding initially, but at the end of the month, once they see, that they have all these resources in the back office to run their own challenge group, that they're going to be able to succeed at this. So it's very important for you to help them in the beginning so that they can go off and do it on their own. And then another goal is to add 3 to 5 customers with a challenge pack purchase to that challenge group that you guys are running together. That means that they make Success Club. I don't necessarily overwhelm them by explaining Success Club in the Getting Started Right call because a lot of people don't understand it. I just tell them that if they help 3 to 5 people their first month and every month thereafter, that they're going to make their investment back. And then we talk about Success Club in subsequent calls. And then I encourage them, the very last goal is to advance to Emerald rank. And I tell them to do this by recruiting 2 people closest to them, for example, spouse, sibling, parent, best friend, but I encourage them to do this immediately. If they can do it within the very first week of signing up, I tell them that it is in their favor to do that. If not, then they really should aim to hit it by the end of the first month. And so then I end the call by arranging weekly calls or chats to touch base about their goals and to go over any questions they have. This doesn't necessarily have to be on the phone. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Zoom call. We can just arrange a time to text or arrange a time to chat. Normally with my new coaches, I'm talking to them daily via chat, via text, especially if they're business builders. So you just want to make sure that you're staying in constant communication with them and that you have a designated time that you come back to them and to go over any questions. Again, the last thing you want your new coaches to do is to get overwhelmed. When they feel overwhelmed and they feel like they're drowning on top of everything else, they're going to start cutting things back. And if the one thing they can cut back on is coaching, and that's how they go ghost on you, we just want to make sure that we're constantly in communication with them so that we can ensure them that, we're here for them, that the team is there for them, and that you're there to guide them. And if it's going too fast, that you can reel them back a little bit and you can take them at their own pace. And that's it, guys. That is, that's really how I have shared, okay? So the very last thing you want to do when you get off the phone is you want to enroll them in the new coach training, and that's the number 6 step, okay? So you want to make sure that you enroll them in the new coach training, whether it's something that you're running, maybe you've developed that. I'm going to share my new coach training with you guys so that you have that if you want to run your own, or you add them to your upline team. I run one new coach training every month, and then I also have email trainings that go out to people for people that maybe sign up after a new coach training has started and they're ready to go. And then the very last step, again, is keep communication with your coaches. This really is so key. We say it with your challengers to follow up with them. You must be following up with your coaches as well, even if they're discount coaches. You want to keep these people happy. You want to make sure that they're getting results, whether both in their business and with their health and fitness journey, okay? So that is my presentation on how to onboard your new coaches. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing a lot of resources the rest of this week, but please feel free to ask any questions you have, and I'll be happy to answer them. Take care, guys.